All right, guys, so we're back on this 2005 Honda TRX 500 FA Rubicon. I had bought an oil pump for this thing now. Remember that I bought this from my customer for $500 after the dealership forgot about it for a year. There's a couple things I'm going to check before I go pulling this motor out. I'm going to go ahead and drain the oil again. I'm going to go ahead and take off the oil tank, and I'm going to check the strainer screen inside of here. We have already checked for oil pressure, had none. The relief valve was good. And then I'm going to do, let's walk around to the other side. I'm going to pull this cover back off again, get rid of this little actuator. I'm going to pull this cover off. And then down here, inside this cover is going to be 2 more strainer screens. I'm going to check both of those. I need to charge my microphone on here because it's about to die. So I'm going to go ahead and drain the oil, pull that canister off. You guys see that in video 1, how all that comes off. And then we'll go ahead and I'll start recording again, and we'll check on the strainer screen inside of the oil reservoir and the 2 strainer, the pickup and the strainer screen inside behind that case. If I have to pull this motor, I got to pull that cover anyway. So I want to check those to make sure those are clear before I go ahead and start pulling the motor apart for something that may not need to be pulled apart. All right, guys, so I got this pulled out. I don't know how long my microphone's gonna last, but I hear something in there falling around. Not sure what it is, so we're gonna grab our 8, take this 8mm bolt out, a 6x1 bolt down here, put that off to the side, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get the 10s back here, which I'm gonna need an extension apparently. Didn't even think about that. Grab a little 3-inch extension. I try to put as much light down here as I could. And I'm gonna just put all these right back in the same spots they came from. I'm gonna flip this over. Now I did pull this out. I did pull the oil cap. I did pull the dipstick out, all that already. All right, let's go ahead and put these off to the side here. Missed one right here. So this thing should just come right apart. All right, I'm looking for whatever was making that noise. There is an O-ring that goes around this, and this is like a little baffle. That's pretty ugly looking, and there are some definite chunks of silver inside of here. All right, there's a little ball bearing. There's a little ball bearing right here. See that? Not sure what that goes to exactly, but why is that in the oil res? The screen doesn't look bad. But like I said, I do see there's a chunk of something. Ooh, I don't know if that's oil pump. Something big's going on. Something probably a lot bigger than what I thought I was gonna have to get into. There's a nice chunk of something there. There's all kinds of chunks in there. What it is, I am honestly not sure. I mean, that's gotta pass through the, oh crap, oil cooler and all that. So not sure what that ball bearing is from. That's really worrisome. I don't know if that's from the Honda Matic transmission or what. So what I can do, I'll probably spray and clean this all out. I'm gonna go back over here. I'm gonna pull that cover off where that clutch was and inspect those screens real quick, because you can see there's a little bit on this thing. There are some silver chunks on there, so I'm concerned of what that is. Big old chunks there. So I'm gonna go back over here, pull that cover off, and see what I find. All right, guys, so I've gone through and I've done some stuff here. Let me see if this lens is all blurry. It could just be my screen on the back. So what I'm doing now, I found a couple things. We found that little ball bearing in there. So I took some air pressure, ran it through the outlet. This is the out that goes into the oil cooler, and it blew a big chunk of metal out. It blew this giant piece right there. I mean, that's significantly big. Let me put it on top of my thumb. I have a pretty big thumb, but you can see how big that is. That was sideways, blocking that oil passage. What did it come from? I'm not 100% sure. I'm trying to look. It looks like I had a ball bearing set in there, but to like the part of the rotary gear on the oil pump brake. You know what? That may be what that is. That may be that outside ring that the rotary sets in. That might have broke. That's the only thing I could think of, because I have studied a lubrication diagram on here. And again, I use eManual Online for my diagrams. I use discount code Limits Power 22 at checkout to save 22%. Yeah, I had to plug it again. But here, let me go back to the schematic here real quick. Why is that not coming up on my recents? I was looking at it on my phone. Okay, well, let me find it again. Here we go. Should go right to it. So that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the lubrication. But again, so when we go to here to the lubrication diagram, I'm like racking my brain trying to figure out what the heck that piece is. Because if you look here, this is your oil pump. Okay, so basically it pumps through here. It'll go through the oil filter up through here, right? It'll go, I'm sorry, from the oil pump, unless one of those rotary gears broke, there's no way for that piece to get through here, up through there, through that little orifice, across, and it goes in. So the only thing that could have happened is that oil pump broke, it came up through and jammed itself inside of there. Where that little brown piece of ball bearing came from, I have no idea. But again, the oil pump will go up. See if you guys can see that or not, I don't know. Go up through here. So that piece could have broke off the rotary, one of the rotary gears down here in the oil pump. Push it through, left, goes up through that hose. Let's see, yeah, where the front of this thing goes up through. I'm trying to show you guys on this too. Goes up, so it goes through, up through into the hose that plugs into that right here in the front. This will be the front, and then this thing has an O-ring that connects right there. That is the feed tube. But I'm so confused with how that piece got in there. My brain is not comprehending this very well for some reason. So let me roll this over. Set it over here, out of the way. Drop more of my GoPro stuff, why not? Again, let's take another look. Go up through here. It looks like it's supposed to go through pumps through, because that drips down. This is inside the oil tank. That feeds off that way, which is that big. This guy right here, that's what bleeds off back there. That comes up through there. The other one comes up from the side over wherever the hell it connects on this thing right here, and bleeds back down, which hits all the baffles and stuff. Okay, that hits all the baffles. This is what I'm getting at. And then this one comes up. It would come up through there. Yeah, so how the hell would that got inside of here? They come up through here because that squirts out the top, which feeds back down, and then through here into that. So I'm going to pull this off real quick, and let's see what's behind door number 2 real quick. Let's point you guys down here, see if you can't get a view of what's going on. I'll bring some light down. That looks probably to be an 8mm, which is already out here somewhere. I have an 8mm somewhere. Figure out where I put that at, and we'll get this thing taken apart here. Did I put it inside there? Nope. All right, give me 1 second. We'll jump back into this. Go. All right, so let's take this off and see what's behind this baffle right here. I also got to thinking that when they put this back together from the dealership, there was almost zero sealant on this here. It's supposed to be sealant that runs across that, and there was hardly anything there. All right, so let's pull this guy off and look behind there. Okay, so there it is. Oh, dumped all those out, whatever. So basically, it'll come through here, up through here, and then out. So that definitely could be the rotary gear on that oil pump. So we will have to pull this motor anyways and check that, because that's the only thing, as I'm looking through my magnifying glass, that I could think of that would be. Is it got something in that rotary gear, broke it, and now it doesn't have any oil pressure. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this motor anyways, I guess. I was gonna put it back together, but that makes more sense now. I got this off, pumps it through from that rotary gear broke, pushed it through here, up through here, which is comes out to the tank, out from the tank into that oil cooler, and got jammed in there. So we're gonna pull the motor anyways. I'll put all this back to clean this up. I'll put this stuff back together, seal it up, and then we'll get this motor out and get it apart. All right, guys. So I'm back on the motor of this 2005 Honda TRX 500 FA Rubicon. I'm just gonna do a time lapse of me tearing the motor down. I need to charge the battery in the microphone anyways. So I'm just gonna do a time lapse of me tearing this down, and when we get to the oil pump, we can see what the failure was. So stick with me.
Wrapped in different sheets. I'm fired up, sweating.
All right, so this bolt is completely stripped out. Somebody had stuck this in there, or something happened to this. I forgot I had my microphone plugged in, and so now I have to kind of voice over this thing. But you can see all the threads are completely gone on this bolt. It was hell to get out of the oil pump down there. So I'm not sure if somebody jammed that in there, or if the oil pump locked up and caused this issue, but there's no reason for those threads to be stripped out like they are that go in the oil pump.
I think of you. I'm on my way down. They'll say that I'll never go back for you. I'm bad for you. Say nothing more.
If you look, you can see that this gear completely stripped on the oil pump. It completely just marred it all up. The oil pump is locked tight. So something must have broken inside the oil pump and caused this thing to just jam up and not work at all. So if you look at that gear, it just stripped it completely out. So I'm going to end up ordering the new gear on this thing and a new oil pump chain and bolt for this. So we already have the oil pump. And then we're going to go ahead and get this thing stripped apart. But you can just see how bad that is and how horribly it stripped that gear out. So something was definitely just locked this thing up. Definitely a major catastrophic failure on this.
I'll fight until I'm black and blue. I'm just a man with nothing left to lose. You make me feel like I am bulletproof. I'd run through fire just to get to you. Till I'm black and blue. I smoke my last cigarette, I live for you. I'm hooked, I'm addicted to the taste of you. Your lips, no, there's nothing sweeter around. One kiss will lay me out never go back for you. I'm bad for you. Say nothing more. I'll fight until I'm black and blue. I'm just a man with nothing left to lose. You make me feel like I am bulletproof. I'd run through fire just to get to you. Till I'm black and blue.
Right here's the mark you want to look for. That would show you that this thing is perfectly aligned on top dead center. The piston is the very top. The line is straight across. You'd pull that little guy out there to look down inside and see that you're at TDC. I did stick that back in. Again, you want that line completely level with the cylinder right here, and that would be top dead center.
Till I'm black and blue. 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 What's a little blood in my boots? If it means I can get to you. What's a little blood in my boots? What's a little blood?
Check this out. Look what else I found. The guide for the cam chain tensioner is broke off. I don't know how that would have happened or where the piece would even be. For some reason, I have a feeling that the Honda dealership that this originally came from, when they took it apart, they must have really screwed something up, because there is no reason for it to be broke like that. There's nothing that will impact that. The cam chain was just fine. The oil pump chain looked good, but you can see it still has a little bit of lip where the cam chain guide can still set in there. It's not going to fall out. It's not going to move. If you look at the cam chain guide itself, it looks really good. There's no wear on it, no issues. But boy, I tell you what, having that little lip definitely saved us. So it kind of made me think maybe the cam chain stopping like that might have happened, but I think maybe it came from the dealership when they put it back together, causing this issue.
I'm just a man with nothing left to lose. No. I'll fight until I'm black and blue. I'm just a man with nothing left to lose. You make me feel like I am bulletproof. Oh yeah. I'd run through fire just to get to you. Till I'm black and blue. Oh yeah. Till I'm black and blue. Till I'm black and
All right, guys, time lapse would be split in a case. I couldn't figure out why it was coming apart. It still had the gear position sensor right here on there, but another ball bearing fell out, and I see two more down here in the bottom. That makes four, one in the oil pickup and three right there. Now the screens for the oil pickups, you can see this is just tore up, and so was the one inside the oil reservoir. Now the other pickup tube, it looks really good, but what failed with those type of ball bearings in it? I have no idea what would have failed like that. So I'm looking here on this would be the front side. You know, I had to take that big gear off, but I don't see anything that takes that style of ball bearing. There's nothing here. That's a big ball bearing. There's nothing that I'm aware of on this side. So let's go ahead and I'm going to set this over here. And we're going to grab this one where the oil pump is. So actually I'm gonna turn it your way and work backwards here. So like this. Let's see if you guys see that oil pump. All right, so those balls were down here. So let's take this oil pump apart. There was actually another piece of metal that did fall out of this thing when I sat it down. Where did it go? I think it's probably gonna be one of the rotary gears out of there. So let's get this oil pump out real quick. I'm guessing that one, that one, that one. That should, right off of there. All right, these are just kind of my guesses as far as what's holding it all in place. Yep, that's it there. Any ball bearings over here? Nothing there. Here we go, flip it over, take a look. Now I know this is locked tight right here. I know that for a fact. Can't spin that at all. So let's break this open. Ball bearings look good there. O-ring, O-rings. Ball bearings are all there. Roller bearings are there. Here's that other piece. This is another piece. So there could be ball bearings in here, a bearing in here that went south. So let's take a look. Break this all apart. I'm going to try to bring you guys as close as I possibly can. Trying to shine some light on this too. I got a crappy headlamp on. I don't know where my other good one is at the moment. All right, you can see how that's all screwed up. So let's go ahead and take, I got a brand new oil pump for this thing. Let's take these out. Let's see what failed. There's those three, and may need to get something to tap on it a little bit and pop it apart. Let me grab, my hands are getting a little oily now. I shouldn't have did it like that, but whatever. We'll grab this pry bar. See if we can't pop apart the different layers. I don't see anything else holding this together. Okay, there we go. It's because of that. It's holding this thing together. That guy is not wanting to come out. That's a rod that runs all the way through to that. So let me think here. I'll just keep tapping on it. Let me grab a rag. There we go. Look at that. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Look, there's a ball bearing caught. That is insane. Look at that. Destroyed that whole entire oil pump. Where did it come from? That's my question. I'm half tempted to take the new oil pump apart to see what's going on. So let's go ahead and pull that off. Pull that out. I mean, look at the dents. Look at the dents on that poor rotary gear. Oh, oil everywhere. Let's see, what else could we take off here? Okay, this back side. Coming off nice and easy. Don't see anything there. Okay. Interesting. Oil pressure release valve. That thing is stuck. Woo. There we go. Got that one off. Get the rotary gear, get the outside gear off. I might have been out of focus or out of frame there. Trying to see what's going on. That pin. All right, take this apart. Where the hell did those ball bearings come from? With all seriousness. I don't see anything that would have caused that failure in here. So I don't have the slightest idea what caused that failure. Now, could it be something in the Honda-matic transmission? Possibly. Very, very possibly. But I'm not. Come on. I just took this race off of here and now I can't get it to go back on like I need to. But anyways, so let me wipe my hands off. I'll move this stuff out of the way. But boy, that is a goner right there. That is for sure. Let's get this Honda-matic transmission back over here and see what the hell's going on. This is interesting. So here's the back on the side that has a Honda-matic transmission. I mean, that's common. That feels good. What would put bearings, small ball bearings like that, I need to pop this back off. Small ball bearings like that into the system? Everything here feels smooth. I mean, everything. Crank feels good. Maybe we'll just pull the Honda-matic transmission off with these 4 bolts, flip it over and see if there's anything there. Now this race just sets back down here on the crankshaft. You just got to get it absolutely perfect to get it back down on there. And that's a pain in the butt because that one goes on the roller bearing side of stuff. But I don't know how I got it off. I was just messing with it and it came right up and now I'm fighting the good, oh, there it goes, the good fight to get it down. All right, here we go. Let's take these out. Okay. And then all good ball bearing, good bearing, good bearing, good bearing, good bearings. One, two. Oh, big one right here. Missed that big guy. Missed this big one right over here. Okay. Now that should 2, 3, 4, 5. All 5 of those. Let's see if we can't get it to pop out here. It's moving a little bit. I'm just trying to take it easy. I really shouldn't be prying on these case halves. Let me stand it up. I've never taken out a Honda-matic transmission. Ever. So it should come right out of that. There it goes. I feel it coming out. It's got some dowel pins holding it in place. Let me give that a little tap on this side. Still ain't one to come. Whew, definitely tough to come out. That's good. You'd think it would come out by now, but what do I know? My first Honda Matic transmission. All right, let me work on this for a minute and see what happens. All right, so I just had to work it back and forth and I finally got it out. So ball bearings look good there. Like I said, the crank, the ball bearings all over here look great. I'm gonna sit down in my chair. I'm at a loss. I am at a complete loss of what. Here's the Honda Matic transmission. Now you're not supposed to take these apart. So I'm not gonna take this. This thing is expensive, so I'm not gonna take it apart by any means. But, I mean, it rotates. I see the pistons in there. This is, you know, changes basically gear ratio. And that's just on the what it does to the pistons. I have no idea what would cause this issue, where these ball bearings would have came from. I don't know. Sabotage? Sabotage? Those are good. Those look good, because there's no way for those to get out. I can see all those. And that's about the only thing, that's the only bearing I see that could be small enough. Can't get out of there. Pistons in there. Big bearing there, big bearing here. Oh. I don't know, guys. I have no idea where all those pieces, these ball bearings came from. These little ball bearings. There's 4 of them that are there. Got into the oil pump, broke, destroyed that oil pump. Luckily, it didn't get anything else. I found the pieces in the oil cooler, in the motor, all that stuff. What am I missing? Does anybody know? Can you tell me? Because my next step is going to be, I'm going to inspect everything one more time and then put it back together. New oil pump. I have a new oil pump. I have new gaskets for it. Man, that really sucks. If you got any idea, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know. All these case halves have to go in the parts washer. This thing's got to be cleaned. This is atrocious. I should have pressure washed it before, but it's been super cold. Oh, see, there's a ball bearing. That's the 5th one. And I mean, this guy's pretty much locked in here. Why that camera shut off? I don't know. I said locked. So anyways, I'm gonna go through it off camera. If I find something, I'll let you guys know. If not, I'm gonna start putting it back together and see if we can't get this thing up and running how it's supposed to be. I don't feel anything wrong anywhere. O-rings, gaskets are already here. New oil pumps are already here. I have oil here. I have everything here for this. So I think I'm going to end this video here. I know it's a quick little teardown, time lapse. I was going to try to get this apart and talk about a few things. I might go study the transmission a little bit, look around, check ring end gap, things like that. And then I'll start part 3 of this forgotten Rubicon and see if we get this thing up and running. Okay, guys, I'm an affiliate of emanualsonline.com. Use discount code LimitlessPower22 at checkout. Save yourself 22% on all your service manuals. If you need to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me on Facebook at Limitless Power Sports Service and Repair. Find me on TikTok at Limitless Power Sports SER and REP, which is Service and Repair. And then you can email me at limitlesspowersports78@gmail.com. I don't think there's anything else. Give the video a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I think I'm going to stop it here. Well, I figured out what makes it glitch like that. Certain words make the thing not take pictures anymore, I guess, in sequence. But anyways, again, guys, I appreciate you subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe if you haven't, turn on post notifications, hit me up if you need something, leave some good comments, leave some bad comments, whatever makes you happy out there in the world. And I'll catch you guys on my next upload.